Alright, so in this particular video, we'll talk about transportation and utilization of the synthesized food. Like in the previous video, we talked about the occurrence of photosynthesis. Now, what happens if the food, which is, synthesized? What about the transportation and the utilization? Yeah, your question is absolutely correct. So we'll discuss about this in this video. Alright, so food is manufactured, which was the glucose most probably, food or the glucose. It's manufactured in leaves in the form of glucose. Means food is manufactured in leaves in the form of glucose. Now this food or glucose needs to be transported to the other parts of the plant also, so that they can also fill their stomach. Yeah, because mama cooks food in the kitchen, and then she gives the food, she serves the food to everybody, transports the food to everybody, right? So the leaves have to do the same. Now this food which is prepared has to be or needs to be transported to the various parts of the leaves as well. This is not possible. It is because glucose is formed at a very rapid rate and cannot be transported with the same rapidity, because glucose, the formation of glucose occurs at a very rapid, very quick speed, and it cannot be transported with the same rapidity. Okay, thus now what happens is that now this glucose gets converted into insoluble starch. Glucose gets converted into insoluble starch. Okay, insoluble starch. Now the starch is stored temporarily in the leaves, like the extra food is stored in the refrigerators in our houses, right? Similarly, the starch is temporarily stored in the leaves. Now at the night, this insoluble starch, when the leaves are not working, photosynthesis is not occurring or something, so at the night when everything is at rest, this insoluble starch gets converted into sucrose. Okay, now this insoluble starch gets converted into sucrose. Starch gets converted into sucrose. What is sucrose? That is glucose plus fructose is equals to sucrose, but here we are dealing with sucrose, so the starch gets converted into sucrose. Now the sucrose is transported in the solution form, in liquefied form or the solution form, to various other parts of the plant through the phloem. Now what is the phloem? Phloem is a vascular tissue, vascular bundle, is a part of a vascular bundle. We have xylem and the phloem. So this xylem does the work of the transportation of the water, and it occurs unidirectionally only, that is from the roots to various parts of the plant. But this phloem, the work of the phloem occurs bidirectionally, because it transports food through various parts of the plant. So similarly, sucrose is transported in solution or liquefied form to all the other parts of the plant through the phloem. Yep. As per the requirements of the plant, this sucrose, now there are two things that can happen with sucrose. The first thing is that this sucrose gets converted into starch for storage. Sucrose gets converted into starch for storage. And the second thing, for example, potato, like when sucrose gets converted into starch for storage, so where is it stored? In the potato. That is an example of sucrose getting converted into starch for storage, and that is why potato contains starch. Okay, now the second thing that can happen with this sucrose is that it can be utilized to produce energy for the various functioning of the plant, the metabolic functioning of the plant. Now the plant can do, let me repeat, like we can do two things with the sucrose. The first thing that can be done is that it can be converted into starch and it can be stored, and for example potato that we consume, that we intake, or plants can do one more thing, they can utilize this sucrose. What they can do is they can use it for the various functioning, for their own benefit. Okay, so this is what happens with the food or the glucose which is, synthesized by the plants. And this is all about the transportation and utilization of the synthesized food. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So this is all for today. See you in the next video very very soon, inshallah. Until then, stay tuned. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.